Welcome, I'm Cassandra, and this is your general and love forecast for the month of teen. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. I'd like to take a moment to apologize for being so very late in getting videos up. I caught a nasty bug. I'm getting better, but, still have moments of being up and down, so I need to pause the video. You may not notice, but you guys don't want to hear me cough or have to blow nose or sneeze, so Anywho. Now, I'd also like to address a comment that was made on one of my Leo videos. Someone had made a comment about how I must not like Leos very well, or that I was just undiplomatic. Now, let me clear this up right now. I do not dislike Leos. In fact, I love Leos. Matter of fact, my husband of 10.5 years is a Leo. So, I do not dislike Leos in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I don't dislike any of the signs. Every sign has different energy, and we're more than just our sun sign. So, just because I am direct and forward and blunt, it does not mean that I'm not diplomatic. I just give it like it is. I'm sure delivery could be better sometimes, but it is what it is. I read the cards as they come out. I cannot help what cards come out. I read them, and that is it. If you want somebody that's going to sugarcoat everything and try to turn everything into a positive, then I'm not your gal. I'm going to give it to you how it is. Either reading resonates with you or it does not. I'm not a people pleaser. I'm actually here to try to help people the best that I can, considering that this is a mass reading for the masses. So, just because a reading being negative for a couple of months does not mean that I dislike someone. It doesn't mean the universe dislikes this particular sign. It just is what it is. And if you feel that the cards and the reading are not resonating with you, that's fine. Go to the next video. I recommend watching plenty of them, I'm not going to say that I have every single answer. So take what resonates out of my reading and leave the rest. We always have free will. So no matter how negative readings appear, we always have the final say because we always have free will. And by simply changing, for instance, just one particular way that we think, we can change our entire lives by simply changing one small thing. So, we always have free will, and the end result is always up to us, okay? So, I just wanted to get that out of the way. I'm sorry, Epic Rant is over. I just want Leos to know that I don't discriminate. I love you guys, and I don't want anybody thinking otherwise. I'm not targeting any signs for bad readings. I don't enjoy giving bad readings to anyone when they're difficult. But it's all about your perception, too. Sometimes things appear negative, but there's always a silver lining. And well, let's face it, most of us regular people, we have problems. Not everybody's life can be perfect. If your life is perfect, good for you. But for the most of us, our lives are not perfect. Now, I will shut up now. It's time to be focused upon Leo. Okay, for our first card, we have the Three of Swords in the reverse position. So, this indicates that you guys are perhaps a bit down. Maybe you're sad. Maybe you guys have experienced feeling disappointed. Maybe even dissatisfied. This could be in regards to a particular situation or just your lot in life in general. So, some of you guys are experiencing sadness, and it's probably related to a lot of the other issues as we've discussed over the last few months. A lot of it seems to be work related, and I will just say that, this reading, at first glance, first set of cards, things are looking like they're going to change. So that's positive for those of you who have been stuck in a rut. Okay, for our second card, which is the circumstances position, we have the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords, she's like a teacher. She can be a counselor, a psychologist, a lawyer. She has some very good reasoning abilities, and she's very logical. She weighs things out before she makes a decision. So, some of you guys may be carefully weighing things out. You may be considering making a major change. Maybe you're considering going in a completely different way than you ever have before, and you're simply weighing your pros and cons and should I or shouldn't I. And this queen is also no stranger to handling loss. And I know for a lot of Leos, you guys have been having some hard times. So this resonates, at least for the overall energy vibe that I've gotten from the last few months from you guys. This totally fits. But again, I feel things are going to improve. So we're going to clarify. Now, this is the card position of focus. So this is the focus point. And here we have the Four of Wands. So you guys are pretty focused on wanting that happy family home, that happiness and family contentment. Even a celebration potentially. You guys are just ready for everything in your relationships, in your home life. You're just ready for everything to be good. You're ready to have something to celebrate over. So this is very positive. Now, this is the card position of your recent past or what is passing. So some of you might still be within this energy, but it is moving away from you. Now, the Ace of Wands is about implementing a new direction. So you guys have probably started moving in a new direction here in the recent past. This could be in regards to work. This could be in regards to a creative type project. This could even be within your personal life. This could go many different ways. But overall, this is about deciding, I'm going to go in a new direction. Now, this is the card position of the present, the here and the now type of energy. I apologize if you hear fur baby. Okay, apologies. Sometimes when she gets started barking, she just gets on a roll and then she won't shut up. I figured I'd spare you guys. Okay, as I was saying, this is the card position of the present, the here and the now energy. And here we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse position. So this is much better in the reverse position. So essentially, when it was in the upright position, you guys had made a mental prison within your mind, and it was all due to fear. So fear had the upper hand and was controlling your life. But now that it's in the reverse position, you're taking your life back. Now you have the confidence to make a decision. Now you know that fear cannot control your decision-making process. So you are free of those mental restrictions and fears that have weighed you down so heavily. And so you're able to finally make a decision, and it's not based off of fear. So that's very good. Now, this is the card position of your near future. Here we have the Eight of Coins. So clearly you guys have some fine abilities and talents, and you even receive some recognition for your abilities. You even receive some profit for your abilities. And, you know, this is all about being a master. Whatever your skills or abilities are, you're mastering them. Practice makes perfect. The more that we do it, the more that we perfect. So, whatever this skill is or this ability, keep going, keep perfecting it, keep doing it, because you're mastering it, and someone will recognize your abilities, and they will be more than willing to pay you for these abilities or these talents. So this is very positive. It's like things are shifting. Thank goodness. Okay, this is the card of your attitude. Here we have the Knight of Coins in the reverse position. So when this knight is in the reverse position, he's pretty scattered. He probably has way too many irons in the fire, so it's pretty hard to focus on any one task. And so this makes your energy very scattered, and this can lead to being irresponsible sometimes, and sometimes this can also lead to potentially making promises or commitments that you won't be able to deliver. But overall, this is like a setback with money. This knight, he is no stranger to hard knocks in his life. So maybe you guys might be feeling a bit moody and maybe even a bit detached right now. You just don't want to have any type of confrontations. Some of you may even be wanting to isolate yourself. You just simply don't want to deal with the day-to-day tasks. And it's probably stemming right here from this sadness. But don't let this sadness keep a hold of you, okay? Because things are going to get better. It's going to take time, but things are turning, and they're going to go in your favor. This is the card position of how other people see you. And here we have the Hermit in the reverse position. So when the Hermit's in the reverse position, sometimes this can indicate that perhaps you could have been doing a lot of daydreaming, maybe even wishful thinking. It's like your head may be in the clouds. And when your head is in the clouds, sometimes you can't see just how dark it really is outside or in your life. So some of you may have, again, put yourself into isolation. And some of you may just be stuck in your head. But don't get stuck in your head. It's okay to be sad. But just know that things are turning in your favor. And a lot of times this is about not listening to your own intuition, not listening to your inner voice, your gut feeling. And sometimes this can be someone had perhaps given you advice, some good advice, and maybe you disregarded it. Okay, this is the card position of hopes and fears. So this on the surface looks like a hope. Now the King of Cups, he's an emotional man, but out of all of the cup cards, he is the least emotional. It's not that he is not emotional, it's the fact that he can detach from his emotions. So he's still an emotional king, but he has the ability to detach from his emotions so that he doesn't think with his emotions. And he's thinking with his intellect rather than letting his emotions think for him. So this is, to me, perfect balance. And this can be male or female, but overall this is about the energy. Now the final outcome card is the Hanged Man. So this is about letting go. This is about making a sacrifice. Now when this card comes up, you're perhaps thinking about making a sacrifice that you would have never even considered in the past. But you're setting off in a new direction. Now this is also a card of feeling like you may feel like you're stuck, like things are at a standstill. But this is a very momentary type of thing because you won't be at a standstill for long. The standstill is about going in to reflect on, is this the way I want to go? Because you guys are definitely going to start off in a new direction. And this is this could be a complete reversal of lifestyle. This would be something completely different, not something that you would normally had gone after in your past. This is about going after something that's just completely different. But this new direction has a higher purpose as well. And it's about just giving in and letting go. Because sometimes the more that we try to control things, sometimes the worse they can get. So if we can just let go of trying to control everything, that's when miracles can happen. Yes, the opportunity that you get presented with, or the new direction that you decide to take, may be completely different. But overall, it looks like it's going to be for the best. Because this is positive. This is a good change. This is a positive change. I mean, no one likes to sacrifice, let's keep it real, but, sometimes certain sacrifices prove to be worth it later on down the line. But sometimes it takes going through it to find that out. Okay, for the bottom of the deck, we get the 6 of coins in the reverse position. So this is about perhaps you receive a gift, but it's a small gift. Sometimes this could be a gift that has strings attached. Sometimes this can indicate like a 401k or an investment that's just losing its value. So that is not so positive, but again, I feel that a lot of this is temporary. I feel that things are changing for you guys for the best. And sorry, I'm trying to put words together. You don't want to focus on all of the negative, okay? It's easy to do that, especially when you're already sad and experiencing, dissatisfaction and whatnot. But I don't want you guys to get caught up into that, because it's not going to last forever. And sometimes if you get caught in negative thinking and negative thoughts about the self, sometimes that can attract more negative. So I don't want you guys to get caught into that vicious cycle, okay? Because again, this is temporary. I mean, there is a big change coming. Now, like I said, it does involve a sacrifice, but ultimately, I think you guys are going to be much happier on the other side of this sacrifice. But, sometimes it just takes time for you to see that. Now, also, this can also indicate that perhaps the distribution of like an estate, like a will, or even a bonus, that maybe things be handled in a unfair way, an unethical type of way. This can also indicate that perhaps some of you feel like your prosperity is threatened in some way. And this can also be unfair, like business tactics, so to speak. Like maybe you feel that things are not exactly fair, perhaps in a job you're already in. Okay, let's get to clarifying. We need more info here. Oh, that's really good. Oh, bottom of the deck, Knight of Coins in reverse position. So this has come out twice now. Excuse me. Okay, so we clarify our Three of Swords in the reverse position. We get the Chariot. So the Chariot in the upright position, well, this is a very good card. This is about literally emerging victorious through any and all adversity. So no matter what problems you're experiencing, you will make it through them. Granted, you have to work hard, but you're going to make it through this. Whatever this situation is, you're going to make it through it. And you will emerge victorious. And if you have any enemies, well, you'll put them in their place. You will be triumphant against them. And this card also signifies good health. So that's awesome. And this can also indicate that perhaps you might be considering traveling. So some of you might be traveling or considering traveling. Maybe some of you may even be considering a job that involves traveling. Okay, we clarified our Queen of Swords, which was our circumstances card. And we clarify and we get the Knight of Wands. So this is an excellent card. This can indicate a change of residence. This can be about a journey that you're about to undertake. Sometimes it can be an unexpected journey as well. And this could just overall be indicating that there is a major life change that's approaching, and you're going to want to be ready to embrace that. And seeing as how this knight is in the upright position, this change is going to be one of that's very beneficial. It's going to be a good change. It's going to benefit you, your family. So very, very, very positive. And maybe this unexpected journey has to do with traveling. Now, we clarify our Four of Wands, which was the focus card, and we get the Ten of Cups. So, yes, it seems that you guys are very much focused on your home life and your family happiness, and you just want to be content. So that is the main focus for you guys, is you guys just want to be content. And some of you even desire that celebration. And with the Ten of Cups, it looks like a celebration is very much possible. Yes, we got to get through all of this, but I believe you guys are going to be able to achieve this. Okay, this was the card position of your recent past, or the energy that is passing. We clarify and we get the Eight of Swords in the reverse position again. We had it right here as well. So this definitely shows you've decided, I'm going in a new direction, because you have been released from your fears. And you've decided, I'm not going to let fear control my actions and thoughts and decision process. I'm not going to be imprisoned by fears. I'm going to head off on this new direction. No matter how scary it is, I'm going to go for it. Yes, look at Leo shine. Okay, this is the card position of the present, the here and the now energy, which was the Eight of Swords in the reverse position. We clarify and we get the Six of Wands in the reverse position. So, the Six of Wands in reversed is about you want victory. You've worked very hard to achieve a victory, but this victory had been delayed. and maybe even postponed, or you're experiencing difficulties. And maybe these difficulties were brought on by fear, but now you were released of the fear. And now that you're released of the fear, you don't necessarily have to not be able to achieve that victory. I think you guys are going to achieve victory. It's just going to be in a different route than what you had expected. Okay? Okay, this was the card position of the near future. We have the Eight of Coins, the Master, the you got talents, you got skills and abilities. You could get recognition. You could get paid for these skills. Practice makes perfect. We clarify and we get the Page of Swords in the reverse position. So this can indicate that some disappointing news could be on the horizon. This won't be for all of you, okay? But some of you may receive some disappointing news. But don't let it take your courage. Don't let it completely zap you and keep you more sad, okay? It's temporary. But this upsetting news, you need to make decisions quickly. So you need to be prepared to have to make some decisions quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now, this could also indicate that perhaps someone you worked with had potentially betrayed you, or maybe this person had taken something of yours. Maybe this... Overall, this could indicate that you may receive an apology. Now, this is not going to be for everybody, but this is going to fit for some of you, okay? Some of you may receive an apology, and it could be from someone that you work with. You know, this could be a business partner. This could just be someone in general that you work with. Maybe someone tried to perhaps try to take some credit for some of your work. And maybe they tried to get away with it, and they know they can no longer get away with it. So maybe they finally come up and confess and apologize. Like I said, that'll be for a few of you. But overall, typically this is about disappointing news that we don't want to hear. And just know that don't let it set you back too far, okay? Because this is very, very temporary. But this news, like I said, you may have to make decisions quickly. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. It would be a very fast-moving type of situation. You know, and somebody could have potentially taken something from you, and for those of you that happened to, you could potentially get what was taken back, or even you might get acknowledged that, you know, they had actually done you wrong. And it looks to me like, you know, this was definitely within the work. So I feel as if this has occurred either with a business partner or in a work type setting where maybe someone tried to take credit for some work that you actually did, but they claim it as their own. that can be pretty upsetting. But don't let it get you down, okay? Okay, this was the card position of your attitude. We have the Knight of Coins in the reverse position. We clarify, and we get the World in the reverse position. So, again, the Knight of Coins in the reversed is about being scattered and maybe even potentially irresponsible, not being able to follow through on promises or commitments. You know, this is obstacles, setbacks in regards to money. You know, things just are not working out as you wanted them to. And the World in the reverse position here is indicating that you want to make sure that you don't keep repeating the same type of mistakes. Because the world can be yours, but you don't want to keep making the same type of mistakes. So, you know, don't make promises and commitments, especially in regards to work, that you cannot keep. Otherwise, we'll be faced with going through the same lesson over and over and over. We don't want to be a knucklehead now. So, yep. And this can be about delays and obstacles as well. But these delays and obstacles are about showing us that we just need to modify something that we're doing wrong, and then we can have the world in our hands. Globus Teddy wins the race, guys. I'm serious. Now, this was the card position of how other people see you. We had the Hermit in the reverse position. We clarify, and we get the Nine of Coins. So I always refer to this card as like the self-employed person, the entrepreneur. Yeah. But overall, the Nine of Coins is about being self-sufficient. It's about having achieved materially. You're comfortable. You're secure. And so I feel that that's what you guys are wishing for, is to be secure. Be financially sufficient. We don't want to get too caught in daydreaming. We have to put the actual work in and get out of our head. Okay, this was the card position of hopes and fears. Here we had the King of Cups. So this is an emotional king, but he is able to detach from his emotions so that he can think, you know, with his logic and his heart. We clarify, and we get the Eight of Coins yet again. So everything is definitely pointing towards you definitely have a skill or an ability, and you need to continue with it. And you even have great love of this skill. You might even be able to teach this skill to others, because the King of Cups can be a leader, he can be a teacher, but this is something that you love to do. So that definitely seems like hopes to me. Now, this is good. Okay, for the final outcome, we have the Hanged Man. You know, this is considering making sacrifices that we wouldn't have before. This is about deciding to let go, you know, not trying to control every single thing in you know, just allowing the universe, or God, if you will, to take control of the steering wheel, so to speak. We clarify, we get the Two of Swords in the reverse position. So this definitely indicates that you guys have made up your mind. A decision has been made, and you're going to proceed forward with that decision. And I feel is that a lot of you guys are going to decide, you know, I'm going to do this. Whatever this change of lifestyle is, this complete change, I'm going to go for it. Now, I need to caution you guys that now that you've made up your mind, you do need to be careful on who you share your information with, because you can attract opposition and, you know, negative naysayers, and we don't need any more issues. You know, because there could still be rocks in the water, or there could still be potholes in the road, so to speak, obstacles. And you don't want to show your cards to the wrong person, you know. So some things are better kept on the down low. You don't want to go advertise, yo, I'm going to go do this, or, you don't want to go tell the world right now, okay? You can share this information, but you should only do this with people that you know that you can trust. Literally 1,000,000%. If you know that you can't trust, do not share this decision with them. But overall, this is very good. This shows you are making your decision. You're not stuck in decision. You're not letting fear control you. So what if, things have been delayed? You got skills. You're going to make it happen, okay? You're going to make it happen. It's positive. Now for the bottom of the deck, we got the Knight of Coins again. So, again, you need to be cautious. Don't make commitments or promises on something you cannot deliver. So do keep that in mind, because things change quickly. And, again, this type of energy is just, it's almost kind of like a loner type of energy. Perhaps some of you guys are still dealing with that depression, that sadness, that dissatisfaction within a certain aspect of your life, or within a certain, whether it be work or relationship or just in general. So don't make promises or commitments that you can't keep. It's better to just not promise or commit to anything. If you know you change your mind, or you know that you can't do something, just don't make any promises. Because things are changing, that's for sure. And so, you have good intentions on trying to fulfill this commitment or this promise. Things are very changeable right now because there's, a huge transition taking place here. And while your intention be pure, this complete change could completely, prevent you from being able to fulfill a promise. So, again, just be careful. Try to not make promises, especially if you know that you won't be able to deliver it. Or if there's any inkling that you may not be able to deliver, don't promise it. It is what it is. Either they deal with it or they don't. Better to not promise, you don't want to disappoint. Okay, I'm going to pull your love oracle cards, but I'm not going to clarify them this month, so. Okay, first one is flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, and I would say that's going to resonate with most of you. And engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So you'll know which one resonates with your particular situation, but I'm feeling this one right here is going to resonate with the most of you. Okay, so overall, it starts out a bit rough, but hey, it looks like things are going to turn in a very good way. Again, sacrifice is not always easy, but it can lead to a rewarding future. This will be a very beneficial change. So overall, things are looking very positive. Okay, I will talk to you guys next month. In the meantime, I love you guys, and I'm sending you blessings of healing, prosperity, and love. Talk to you next month.